My name is Alex. Until last fall, my life followed a routine so predictable that I barely thought about it. I worked as a graduate assistant during the evenings and spent most of my days at home, grading papers or preparing lectures. I lived alone, in a narrow apartment above a closed-down bookstore, the kind of place where you stop noticing the sounds because they never change. Every weekday was the same. I woke up at 7:30, made instant coffee, sat at the same spot by the window, and left the apartment at exactly 6:10 p.m. to catch the bus to campus. I never questioned that routine. I think that asked why it took me so long to notice someone else had learned it too. The first thing I noticed was small enough to ignore. One evening, I came home and found my desk chair slightly angled away from the desk. I assumed I had moved it myself. A few days later, my bathroom mirror had a faint handprint on it, as if someone had wiped steam away. I live alone, and I always shower in the mornings. I told myself it was condensation. I needed that explanation to be true. About 2 weeks later, I received an email from my own address. No subject, no text, just an empty message sent at 2:43 a.m. I checked my sent folder. It wasn't there. I changed my password and tried to forget about it. Then my trash started moving. I don't mean rummaged through, I mean relocated. One morning, the bag I always left by the door was gone. That evening, it was back in its place, tied neatly, as if someone had taken it out and returned it. Nothing was missing. That somehow made it worse. The feeling that followed was constant, like being observed, but never caught. I started sleeping lightly, waking up at the smallest sound. Some nights I thought I heard footsteps in the hallway outside my door. Other nights, I was sure I heard breathing that wasn't mine. The breaking point came on a night I stayed home instead of going to campus. I hadn't told anyone. Around midnight, my phone buzzed. A photo. No number. No message. It was a picture of my apartment door, taken from inside the hallway. The timestamp said 5 minutes earlier. I didn't open the door. I sat on my bed, fully dressed, holding my keys like they were something solid I could rely on. At 1:12 a.m., I heard the softest sound of metal turning. Not forcing, not breaking, just someone trying a key that almost fit. I called the police. They came, checked the building, asked the usual questions. No signs of entry, no cameras, no witnesses. One officer asked me if I was sure I lived alone. I moved out within days. New building, new locks, new schedule. For a while, it worked. I slept again. I stopped checking my phone every few minutes. I convinced myself it had been stress, paranoia, anything but the truth. Until last week. I came home early and found my lights on. I stood in the hallway, listening. Nothing moved. Inside, everything looked untouched, except my desk chair. It was angled away from the desk.